Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Weekly Win. My name is Tim. I'm joined with my co host, Ken.
Hello, everyone. How are you this week?
This week, we've got a packed show for you. I hope you're ready to hold on tight because we got some domestic issues, we got some global issues, and we even got a little bit of sports. Ken, you want to start us off?
I absolutely can. Uh, Everybody, I happen to notice, let's see, what is the date of this? The 19th. So 3 days ago, I happened to notice that there was an article published by Daily Wire pointing out that dozens of U.S. officials in Vienna were hit by a bout of the Havana Syndrome. For those of you who don't know, uh, the best way that I could explain it is it's like some sort of a microwave attack that disorients you. Like it messes with your brain functions, it messes with your ears, like everything. It throws you off balance and it disorients you. Anyway, it is believed that these officials have been actually attacked by some possibly hostile foreign power. Approximately 2 dozen U.S. intelligence officials were attacked, supposedly.
Interesting. This has actually gone back decades for the syndrome. I remember a couple years back, I saw a report on some people falling ill with the Havana Syndrome. Real interesting how, well, the commies specifically, but how good humans are at coming up with unique ways to kill each other.
Yeah, we've been pretty good at that for thousands of years.
Yeah, it'll never cease to amaze me.
Now,
Well,
I think this Havana Syndrome attack, if I might interrupt you real quick,
oh yeah,
I think early reporting is already, I don't know if this is a baseless accusation or not, but they're already like going after Russia because they're prime enemy number one. And I guess they're used to doing this or something or another to that effect.
that
So
sounds about
I guess
right.
I guess that's the Biden admin's number one culprit is Russia.
Ah,
So we'll see how things go from there.
you know, speaking of people who make me sick, I guess that's all I got. Brian Stelter, mm, he's having a good grand old time. Him and his buddies in the legacy media. Um, apparently, someone came on and told him that they don't report the real news; they just report what'll get them clicks, and that's why everyone hates them. And they just kind of sat there like, "What do you mean people don't like us? We're the legacy media." And in fact,
Yeah,
that
well,
happened again. Sorry, not to cut you off, but Don Lemon was corrected on air, but he said that CRT wasn't taught in schools, and then even more recently, um, one of the Kentucky senators, if I remember correctly, was mocking CNN, and they just had no clue how to react. Oh man, CNN is getting hit left, right, and
oh,
center.
oh my goodness. Imagine getting viciously attacked and not knowing what to do about it.
Oh yeah, they just sit there and smile. Like you know
Just
that
smile and wave, boys.
no, you remember that kid in the Capitol that got yelled at by the Indian guy because he was wearing a MAGA hat?
Oh, yep, okay.
Yeah, so something like that probably.
They're just standing there smiling. Yep, this is
Yeah,
fine. Everything is okay.
yeah, that's basically what CNN's been doing. Like, what do you mean people don't like us? How could they not like us? We're CNN.
Well, great question, CNN. I'm glad you asked us here at the Weekly Win. We might have an idea. Um, if I might. I think it happens to be because you guys work with the Democrats so much, and people are starting to kind of see which way the wind's blowing, and they see that it's not blowing in the Democrats' favor. So, you know, towing the
As it,
company line for a company that isn't doing very well, it's always a
well,
recipe for disaster.
well, we'll see. Someone's got to go down with the ship. Someone's got to be left holding the bag. We'll see.
How about the prosecutor for Hunter Biden actually rejecting I forget what it was, but it was some measure, some legal action that would have actually revealed that the Bidens were being investigated during the election. Do you hear about
Yep.
that?
Yeah, I did, and it's oddly similar to what happened in 2016. They were under investigation and tried to sweep it under the rug as long as they could.
Mm.
The difference is real, Ken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Everyone, remember, spam in our comments, not other people's comments, because we don't like when you do that. But spam in our comments, the difference. Don't forget to put the parentheses around the D, so that way you know what the difference is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Democrats are all over the place. You know who else is all over the place? The feds.
Is all over the place. The feds are all over the place. Yeah. What do you got
Oh,
for us from the feds?
one of my favorite articles. I'm going to cast our minds back a few months, right? To the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer, which, for legal reasons, I am saying is a bad idea. For legal
It's a
reasons.
terrible idea.
However, apparently, as most people know, they were foiled because they had a couple of FBI guys in their group. What's come out recently, though, is that the FBI guys planned everything and just got these guys on board, essentially.
Wow. Wow.
That is
Isn't that like entrapment or something?
essentially yes. Actually, yes, it is. That's just entrapment.
Oh my gosh.
If I
Oh
leave an
my gosh.
unlocked bike outside
Could you?
and
Holy
I
cow,
point
dude.
to it and go, "Hey, that's a nice bike." It would be a shame if someone were to steal it, right? And I go, "Well, it's not locked or anything." And you go out there and you steal it. That's entrapment.
Oh my gosh. Is it safe for us to say that the FBI foiled the FBI's plot on this one? Is that safe, YouTube overlords? Or are we going to get banned for that one? Yeah, we'll leave.
We'll leave it in. It'll be fine.
They're going to do what they're going to do anyway. I got something for you from the feds.
Oh boy.
All right. So the FBI is tracking people that want to kidnap governors, I guess. And the Pentagon is tracking quote unquote extremist web searches, including in Google, the truth about Black Lives Matter. That will go right to the Pentagon and you will be tracked.
Yeah, I was reading over the list, and apparently it's because by searching the truth
Um,
about Black Lives Matter, you're implying that it's an evil, nefarious organization.
aren't they? I mean, that's a plausible question, right?
Yeah,
Oh, excuse
well, apparently it's not plausible enough for the government. So this,
Like,
my friends, this is why you need a VPN. We're
you
not
gotta wait
sponsored
till we
by
get the
anybody, but
sponsorship. Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Go out. Private internet access is your best deal, best reliability. Just go out, buy it real quick. Trust me, it makes a world of difference.
I just imagine sitting there, right, and not knowing what Black Lives Matter is all about because I live under a rock or something, right? And I go and look up what is the truth about Black Lives Matter, and then all of a sudden the Pentagon's tracking me. Like that's just nuts. That's
Ah, yes.
absolutely insane.
I mean, this is essentially the Patriot Act.
Oh yeah, don't talk to us about that. We don't like that.
Nobody likes that.
Nobody likes that. Nobody's liking these voting machines either. Apparently,
Oh, I mean,
Maricopa has some news. I think we reported on last week that there was a discrepancy, but we don't know how large.
yeah, that was in Arizona.
Well, it turns out cyber ninjas did their audit in front of the state senate, and we're going to have a link to a couple videos for that. One of them is going to be, many of you might know, Razor Fist. I watched his work as well. I'm a fan. He covered this as well, and we're going to actually put in, if I can find it, the hearing that Cyber Ninjas was a part of for Maricopa, so you guys can see just exactly what it is that they saw. And I have something else for you on the voting machines front, this time from Pennsylvania. We have a state official has actually decertified Fulton County in Pennsylvania, Fulton County's voting system, and they are citing an election code. They're citing an election code violation. How funny is that?
Oh, wow.
Some
It's almost
interesting
like
things.
it's almost like the court said you guys are doing violations, and the state went, "We're doing it anyway."
The things that I found pretty interesting were that this particular county is actually very rural, so it's very Republican. So of course, Pennsylvania would crack down on them. The other thing is, I'm not exactly sure what it means to decertify a county's voting system. Like, do you get new machines for the next election and then use those, or do you just use paper ballots, or what?
I honestly don't know. I can't think of a time that's ever been done in my lifetime.
I can't either. Oh man,
Well,
we'll
let's
have to
switch
wait and see how that goes.
Yeah, agreed. Let's switch gears a little bit. Talk about some sport and culture. The new Space Jam movie.
Uh,
There's a reason it has a 31% last I checked on Rotten Tomatoes.
31%.
I quite honestly think that the prequel trilogy is higher than that. Hang on.
We're gonna get a live fact check on this one.
Live fact check.
Yeah, we're gonna
Uh
do it better than CNN.
The Phantom Menace, 52%.
Oh yes, yes, better than Space Jam 2.
Ken, give me another movie that's bad that we all like.
Oh gosh, Kung Fury. Let's go for Kung Fury.
This one's high, actually. I'm fairly certain this is high. Audience score 86.
86. Getting crushed by Kung Fury. For those of you who have seen Kung Fury, I really don't like the movie because it's not really a movie per se in the same way that I would define it. And the way I would define it is, being like an hour and a half plus, which I know isn't very fair, but I digress. There's other reasons why I dislike it, but I understand that it's supposed to be ridiculous and not likable for that reason to be funny. It just doesn't work on me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll soften up one day and I'll laugh and I'll stop being a hard ass. We'll see.
Maybe. Doubtful, but even the Tomorrow War is 52%, and from all what I've heard, it's bad.
The Tomorrow War,
Yeah,
dare I ask?
it's a futuristic movie with Chris Pratt. It's on Amazon.
Uh,
Okay,
okay.
apparently Space Jam went down. It's only at 29%.
Here we go with that live fact checking again.
Oh Lord. All right, before we go down that rabbit hole, I attempted to watch it. Ken, as I told you, I made it 16 minutes in, and I couldn't. I watched some bad movies that are bad and they're fun because of it, and movies that are just bad. I couldn't do it. I could watch Star Wars Episode 8 several times before I watched Space Jam 2 again. It's
Wow.
LeBrick is not an actor. He should never have tried to be one.
No, you see him on the court.
Oh
They
yeah,
call him
and
LaFlop for a reason.
but it's just there's imagine the most stereotypical like father son disconnect story, and then write it poorly. Like have George Lucas write the screenplay for it, and then have actual like sacks of dirt acting.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. All right. So I guess it's a good thing then that China's not gonna go ahead and screen that in theaters.
yeah,
You guys, you dodged a bullet, I guess, figuratively, of course.
yeah. On top of all that, it's incredibly woke. The first 60 minutes are full of nothing but woke. It's
Ew.
painful.
Ew. 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 I don't know, dude. I don't know how you could get through 16 minutes of that. You're a trooper.
It's
Everybody, let's get
painful.
some clapping emojis in the chat. I know. Talking like a Twitch streamer now, but let's do it anyway. Let's give this guy some claps for being a trooper.
Maybe one day we'll be on Twitch if they don't ban
We'll
us
see.
immediately.
I'm going to continue on with basketball if we can.
Sure.
The NBA Finals was just now, and the Bucks beat the Suns in 6 games. I happened to tell my brother for the series that the Bucks were going to win, and all of his friends didn't believe me after game 2 when the Suns up 2-0. So the Bucks basically came back from 2-0 to win 4-2, winning 4 games
Full
in a
on
row.
reverse sweep.
Just about.
Ooh,
Holy cow. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he is Greek. He plays for the Bucks. He scored 50 points. He's pretty much the only one who's
damn.
played for them because they're not a super team. He's their really only bona fide superstar. And I will also include a link to his post-game press conference where he takes a shot at super teams. People are trying to figure out, is he trying to, you know, like throw shade at James Harden, or is it Kevin Durant, or is it LeBron? I don't know, man. I think it might be all three of them. But, you guys can watch that and decide for yourselves.
Interesting. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit more. Um, the women's soccer team. Oh
Oh,
boy.
boy. Oh,
imagine,
no.
imagine making such a shitstorm. Like, pay attention to me, pardon my language, but like, pay attention to me, me, and then losing 3-0 in the first game.
3-0.
For those of you who don't watch
Oh, my God.
soccer, 3-0 is a very large margin. I watch a bit of soccer. Most games are 1-0. To go 3-0 is bad. Oh, but we all love to see it.
3-0. Oh, yeah. Twitter was having a field day.
Hmm.
They were loving it, man.
Oh. Now, how about a sport that we both know a bit more, Ken? Football. Good old American football.
Oh, man. We got some football news for you guys. We got some Aaron Rodgers news, and we got some news on the Monday Night Football front. Tim,
The
I'll
meme
go ahead
day
and cover
football.
Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you can talk about the Mannings.
Sure.
You might know a little bit about Peyton.
Heard of him once or twice.
Oh, good, good. Maybe you'll be able to talk about him a little bit. Aaron Rodgers, anyway, and for the Packers, has turned down a 2-year extension, which would bring him to 5 total years under contract. Up to his age. I think it's either 42 or 43 seasons. He turned it down because he does not like the GM there, so I have read. And the Packers are not really willing to remove the GM to acquiesce to him. So I guess right now things are at a stalemate because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to report to the training camps or the practices or anything like that. I don't know. We'll see.
Which is impressive because wasn't that like one of the highest paid contracts?
Yeah, I think the extension would have made him the highest paid player in the NFL or something along the lines of that.
Damn, and he turned it all down because he was like, I don't like that GM.
I guess
Impressive.
money can't buy you a good boss, huh?
No, I can confirm. No. And now, Peyton Manning, I'd assume he's actually your boy, as you're a fucking Denver fan.
I am a big Peyton fan.
Yeah, I bet you are. They're taking over Monday Night Football. Meme Night Football, Ken.
I'm actually gonna watch that now.
Yeah.
It's not Tony Romo and some other schmuck.
Yeah.
Pardon to the other poor announcer that I just called a schmuck, but
I
I don't
mean,
know
he is
your
a
name.
schmuck. He chose to work with Tony Homo, but.
He doesn't know my name, so he can call me a schmuck back, and it won't hurt my feelings.
But
There you
yeah,
go.
they're taking over Monday Night Football, which means it might be interesting. I mean, it depends on if we actually get playable teams to play.
Jets, Giants, week 1.
Oh boy, that's the matchup we're all here for. Oh, that's the one that gets you going down to the bar.
uh, and you know what? We're all laughing right now, but I'm telling you, I just got a really weird feeling that if that happened, the game would go something like 35-31 just to shut us all up.
Yeah, it'd be a fight for every yard, and we're like, wait a minute, why is this good? What have you people done?
Who's that guy? That's their third string running back who just went for a 90-yard touchdown. Are you kidding me? Dude, why didn't I start him in fantasy this week? Oh, that's right, because I don't have him. Ha
Oh,
ha.
don't worry, he's on someone's bench. It would be the first time someone went 50 points on a bench week 1.
Yeah, I think I'm guilty of it too. as well as our commissioner,
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
as
I'll have
well
to
as
remember to
some
send
other
him this
people.
podcast when it goes live.
So I got one more piece of news for you from
Hit
sports.
me.
This is actually pretty funny if you ask me. There is a player for the Chicago White Sox in baseball, or
Okay.
perhaps there was. We're still figuring that out. His name is Yermin Mercedes. Excuse me, not Mercedes. Mercedes. And I think it was just a couple weeks ago that he blasted a 47-mile-an-hour pitch on a 3-0
Dang.
count from a position player, like 400 feet.
Oh.
And then, yeah, yeah, dude, you got to see that. It took some incredible power for him to do that. His manager came out the next day and he said that he would be punished for it. So
But
Yermin
why?
said, if I'm punished for it, then I'll just retire. I don't care. So he did, because he got sent down to the minors. He's been struggling recently. And it was announced today that he was trying to announce his retirement, supposedly. I'm not sure.
At that point, I don't
He
blame
he
him.
made he made an Instagram post and everything. Not that that's to legitimize it, but you know.
Yes, that's how I announce everything. Instagram.
That's how you know the celebrities aren't just talking the talk anymore. That's how you know it's for real.
Well, we can switch on to some global affairs. Israel.
Ooh.
So this is
Ooh.
interesting. A handful of states have anti-BDS laws, boycott, divest, and sanction, for those who don't know. And Israel is now calling on those states to lawsuit against Ben and Jerry's,
Ben and Jerry's.
which is actually a subsidiary of Uniday, if I remember correctly.
Really? They're a
Yeah,
subsidiary?
yeah, hang on. I'll put
Oh
it in the
boy.
doc.
They're a pretty huge corporation.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Unilever.
Sort of
Unilever
some of
owes
Google's
Unilever owns a
companies.
lot. So
Yeah.
what's interesting about Unilever is what they've been doing is they'll take certain brands and make them woke, and then they'll basically pit their brands against each other by
Why
making
would they do that?
well, because you make some woke so that way you can appease the crowd, but then you have others you don't make woke. Like they own Axe for reference.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
and so they take some of their brands and make them woke to make the liberals happy, and then they have some they don't make woke for the rest of us. It's an ingenious marketing strategy.
Wow.
But yeah, so
Unilever of all companies.
yeah, and so basically the Ben and Jerry's account came out and said that they weren't gonna serve ice cream in occupied Palestine territory, aka Israel. And so now Israel's pushing for the U.S. to provide legal action.
I think I'm with them on this one. If you have laws on the books against this, you should probably enforce them,
Yeah, no, I
unless,
agree.
of course, they're unenforceable.
Well, we'll find out how unenforceable they are here soon, hopefully.
Oh man, I've got some unenforceable stuff for you. You want to hear some
Oh
crazy
boy,
news from Europe?
hit me.
Well, maybe not just Europe, but I'm going to start you off with something from Australia.
Crikey, mate.
There is Crikey mate is right. Let's go save our Aussie friends here. Uh, some Australian health official whose name I don't have offhand, but I should probably get, ordered the populace to not converse, of all things, for fear of spreading the coof. Yep,
Oh
top health
no.
officer orders Australians to not have conversations with each other.
You know what that
Uh,
reminds me of? This is totally off topic slightly, but
no,
apparently
I don't.
for the Olympics, because of how
Oh
much
no.
sex people have during the Olympics, they now have made
Oh no.
cardboard beds that if a second person gets on, they collapse to help prevent the spread of COVID.
Oh my god.
And the top comment that
Oh.
I saw, and honestly, I agree. You really think the
Oh.
most fit people in the human race. Do you really think they need a bed to have sex? Like,
Oh, now we're thinking with our dipsticks.
think with your dipstick, Jimmy.
Oh, wonderful.
But yeah, so them saying to stop talking to people to help slow the spread. It's just another stupid thing. It's incredible.
France, France isn't faring any better. There's a bunch of medical clinics. It's being reported now. A bunch of medical clinics in Paris are selling fake COVID-19 passports for 250 euros a piece, and there's a black market that is now surging for it. Obviously enough.
Only 250? Shit.
Well, and the risk of jail time and going to the gulag and but besides that, it's 250 euros.
That's
Not
not
bad.
bad at all. It's only bad if you get caught.
Yeah. By the way, we should make another disclaimer. Don't buy fake passports because you're just asking for trouble.
For
I
legal
don't think we can
reasons, we
say
do
that,
not
but
condone
yeah,
buying illegal passports or documents of any kind.
absolutely not. Do not forge government documents. You will get in a
Especially
lot of
not
trouble.
especially not driver's licenses that say you're 21 when you're not. Especially don't do those.
Yeah, they will really slam you real hard for that one. They will throw the book at you. Throwing the book. You got anything else for us globally?
Um well, Poland, the absolute shads that they are in the Eastern Europe, uh the EU ruled against how they structured their judiciary, and Poland basically said, and LOL, and
Yeah, I think it was something about disciplining judges. They said, "Yeah, we can't do that. We
yeah.
can't do what you want, EU. We can do what we want, though."
Yeah, Poland is pretty cool like that.
Poland's a bunch of chads. I
I
remember
might
we covered them on the show before.
I
Good to
might
see them
actually be
some
going
other
there in
place.
February.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a StarCraft 2 tournament in February that I might be at, assuming that they're allowed to have in-person events. They're still waiting. They're working towards it. We're just waiting to hear the confirmation.
No, I hope everything goes well on that front.
You and me
Good to see
both.
Poland fighting for freedom and justice.
You know who doesn't do that?
A lot of people.
China.
Okay. All
Mm.
right.
Want to talk
All
about
right.
some China news?
Yeah, I got some China news for you guys.
Hit me.
John Kerry, everyone's most loathed climate politician.
John
His final
Kerry.
John Kerry has finally leveled some criticism against China for their involvement in climate issues. Who would have thought if you push heavy industry to China, China will pollute the world? No way. John Kerry finally digs his head from where the sun doesn't shine and he says, this might be worse than COVID after all. Can you guys slow down on that?
But is it worse than racism?
Mm. Now we're
That's a,
asking the real questions. John Kerry, what do you think about that? We should
yeah,
get our press badges and we should go ask John Kerry what he thinks about that. That's a
yeah.
real question,
We could ask Jen Potato. What do you think's worse, racism or climate change? And then we can watch them implode.
Well, you see, they're both bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're both bad. Oh, okay.
And now
All right.
something in a bit more my territory. China has been leveled accusations of cyber attacks recently.
Ooh.
Apparently,
Okay.
there was a hack on Microsoft Exchange, which are email servers, and a lot of intelligence agencies are saying it was China, even though Biden won't say it was China. He directly contradicted them, and now China's snapping back, saying, "Well, you can't prove it was us," and they're like threatening revenge or something. It's like,
Oh
calm
my
down.
gosh. No, you can't prove it was us. Seriously? Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, apparently that's going to be a hot button topic for the next week or two. We'll have to follow
Uh,
up on that.
I imagine. China's having some other issues at home, actually, and I think this is something that we really should cover. About this time last year, China was having some issues with flooding. I have a link to this, an article from, I believe it's the Epic Times from this time last year, actually, detailing the thousands of Chinese citizens that were trapped as several Chinese officials decided to discharge storm waters into villages, essentially drowning them. Yeah,
Incredible.
and now we have, I believe it's three major dams that have collapsed in the span of a day or two. So things are not looking very good for the dam infrastructure in China. And I know if I think it's the Three Gorges Dam. I think if that's the one that breaks, they're going to have some really, really, really big problems. That's their biggest dam, I believe, or something like that.
Interesting. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not
Yeah.
either. I'll have to go back and look. But it's a very big dam, and it would definitely hurt them. Definitely
Int-
would.
Interesting. Well, Ken, would you like to start us off with your side topic?
Oh,
Mildly related.
haha. I have been waiting weeks for this, everyone.
He really has.
Tim, I am probably going to take all 4 of these minutes again, and it's going to be great.
Send it.
Everyone, the World Health Organization, as well as Biden's administration, are now vindicating my suspicions of this virus from day one. I very distinctly remember telling a certain group of people who don't need to be named, but it was a substantial group of people. I told them at the very onset of this that this is not a natural virus. You don't find natural viruses out in the wild anymore. You know, we've advanced technologically and scientifically enough that we would find them. Excuse me. So now I have to ask the question: how can Fauci be telling the truth about this whole thing when even the most powerful guy in America is now going against what he was saying? Fauci tells us that there was no gain of function research in the Wuhan lab of virology, and of course we find out that there really was. And Rand Paul takes him out to the watershed for it, and he just comes back with a "No, you're lying. Quit lying. You're the liar." And of course the liar is sitting there, Dr. Fauci himself. There's just no way that this is a natural virus, guys. I'm sorry to have digressed onto that, but there's just no way that this could have been a natural virus. This has to have been artificially worked on. Everything that I've thought about the past year and a half as to possible explanations, nothing else makes sense to me. It just doesn't. And the last thing that I'd like to talk about my vindicated suspicions that the Chinese actually worked on this virus. The last bit that I want to talk about is my philosophy on not taking the vaccine. I would like to start out by saying I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I've taken vaccinations my whole life. This one and the flu shot are two that I don't think I will be taking, though, because they are both redundant in much the same way. I will catch the flu year after year, no matter how many flu shots I have, so really I don't see a point in that. And at this point, the coronavirus is endemic. Don't let them fool you by saying permanent pandemic. Right? It's endemic. It means the same thing, it's just less propagandized. It's endemic now, excuse me. And so I see no real reason to take the vaccine, especially when a new Delta variant, and then the Delta Plus variant, and then the Delta Check Plus variant, and then the Delta Plus Plus A variant are all going to come out. You know, I'm just making those ones up, but you get what I'm saying. That's going to happen, and they're all going to defeat the various vaccines, Johnson and Johnson, Pfizer, Sputnik. It's going to blow through them all, and when they do, the vaccinated people are going to be left thinking, how did this not work? Because you didn't listen to actual science. I'll get off the soapbox now so you can take it over.
No, you're fine. Interesting take. Not one. I mean, we've obviously discussed this before, but it's always fun to hear your opinions on things.
Well, thank you. Shout out to Biden. his guys, and the WHO for vindicating my year-and-a-half-long suspicions. Thank you, guys. Tim, the floor is yours.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna take the soapbox here, brush it off a little bit, set it down. I'm gonna hop up on it. So, um, one of I've played a lot of video games in my life, as I know you have. For those who don't know, I am an absolute nerd. But one of my favorite video game developers over my life has been Blizzard. Blizzard has always made my favorite games. I'm a StarCraft person, and they joined with Activision a handful of years back, and a lot of fans have felt that since then it's always been about the money, right? It's always about the money, and you know they're always like, no, 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 it's about the fans, blah blah blah. But a couple of things have come out recently that make it really interesting of where they're at. One that I want to cover first is a lawsuit leveled against them, apparently over sexual harassment in the workplace and discrimination against the woman. And one of the reported departments is the World of Warcraft department. Now, I just want everyone to think about like the World of Warcraft guy from South Park. Imagine him sexually harassing a woman. It it's just funny. But apparently they would like push work off onto the woman so they could go play games and like grope them, make jokes about raping them, the normal stuff. And so now this is going into a full-fledged lawsuit against Activision Blizzard, which I think that's interesting. But also recently, there was a leak from the dev team at Blizzard talking about how on the World of Warcraft team, there's been a push away from World of Warcraft in the community to Final Fantasy XIV, another very nerdy game. And they're trying to figure out why, essentially. And they can't figure out why their strategy of wanting to make money doesn't work. So one of the old developers of World of Warcraft and Blizzard, he has a long tweet series about it, which will be linked, where he talks about where the game industry has gone, away from the passion of making a game to the concept of just making money. And that shows a lot with a lot of the indie games that have come out recently that have been hugely popular as opposed to the main AAA titles. And just as someone who loves video games, it's kind of hard to see some of my favorite franchises just going to hell. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting. That's about all I got.
Wow. Well, Blizzard, you guys got some big problems on your hands. Oh man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that just about does it for us this week. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all back again next week. Thank you all. Take care. See you, and so long.